White House Homeland Security Advisor Tom Bossert warned residents, don't underestimate this storm.
It's not only a dangerous storm, we've already seen loss of life. This storm has taken lives already. It's going to take more, unfortunately, if we're not prepared. So please take it seriously. At this point, this is a large storm, and whether it wobbles left or wobbles right, you need to, at this point, start thinking through your own personal accountability.
A hurricane warning is in effect for South Florida on both the east and west coasts. A hurricane watch extends further north. The National Weather Service warns that some buildings may collapse into the sea, that structures near landfall will experience extreme wind damage, with some areas uninhabitable for weeks or months. Hundreds of thousands of Floridians are in evacuation zones ahead of Irma. Miami-Dade County has ordered its largest mandatory evacuation ever. Florida Governor Rick Scott urged all Floridians in evacuation zones to get out immediately.
I am a father and a grandfather. I love my family. I can't imagine life without them. Do not put yourself or your family in harm's way. If you've been ordered to evacuate and are still home, please go to a shelter. Possessions can be replaced. Your life and your family cannot.
And remember, it is not just Florida in Irma's path. Georgia's governor says they will begin mandatory evacuations tomorrow morning. And FEMA warns that residents from Alabama to North Carolina should be tracking the storm. Our reporters are on the ground with the latest on the storm preps. NBC's Al Roker is in Miami Beach with the latest on the storm's path. Gabe Gutierrez has more on the evacuation efforts in Miami. Katie Beck is on her way to Orlando, and Jolene Kent is in Pompano Beach. But let's start with Al Roker. Al, talk to me about this storm. How strong is it right now?
Well, Katie, it has intensified a little bit. It's 155 miles per hour. We just got the latest data in from the National Hurricane Center. Here's where it stands right now. It is a Category 4 storm, but don't let that fool you. Even though it has been a 5, a 5 is 157 miles per hour plus. This is now at 155 miles per hour, and it is slowed down. It is moving northwest at 12 miles per hour. Earlier this morning when we were on the air with the Today Show, it was moving west-northwest at 17 miles per hour. And currently, it is 345 miles away from Miami Beach, southeast of Miami. So here's what we see as far as the path is concerned. Now, it's going to brush across Cuba late tonight, and then Saturday morning, early afternoon, it starts to make that turn. Now, the other big change is it's slowed down. So it's moved a little further west, and it's slowed down. So landfall is going to be sometime, unfortunately, right around high tide. High tide is around noon, and that's going to be a big deal, as we'll see in just a little bit, about storm surge. It continues Monday afternoon into northern Florida. So this is going to be in the state of Florida for about 24 hours. Andrew, which was a smaller storm, was east to west and was only 4 hours. This thing is going to be about 24 to 30 hours on the ground in Florida. Now, storm surge, this is the other big deal we're talking about, and it's going to happen, unfortunately, right around high tide, which is at noon on Sunday. Southwestern Florida, about 6 to 12 feet, 5 to 10 feet in southeastern Florida, and the Keys, Ponce Inlet into Jupiter Inlet, about 3 to 6 feet, and from Venice to Captiva Island, about 3 to 6 feet. Rainfall amounts are going to be about 6 to 12 inches of rain, but the big deal is going to be the wind. The wind and the storm surge. Those are the big problems here. In fact, most people, Katie, unfortunately lose their lives due to the storm surge. Imagine if you're a 6-foot person and there's a 10-foot storm surge. That's water 4 feet above your head. And that's assuming it's not high tide. If it's high tide, it will be even higher. So this storm coming in could not be any worse. And again, the other thing we want to stress, even though right now the track is a little further west, which may help Miami, we're still a couple of days out, and there could be a wobble either way. So everybody has to be on their guard and cannot take this any less seriously. And don't be fooled by the numbers. Category 4, Category 5. This is a very dangerous storm.
And it couldn't hit a worse place, Al. Florida is low-lying.
Yep.
It is flat. There's already a water table problem out there. It floods even when there are no storms. Al Roker of the Today Show. Al, thank you so much.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.